Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. Let me get this. Of course, Woolly is not organized in any way, shape, or form. I'm just winging it and just turning on the camera to see what happens. Guys, welcome to Woolly's World live on Friday night. It is 25th of November. The 25th of November. Guys, it's the 25th of November today. The 25th. 1 month till Christmas. 1 month till Christmas. That is a shocking revelation to me. That means I only have 24 more days before I start Christmas shopping. Anyway, how is everybody out there? Chris, how's it going? What's the crack? Sorry, I have to put my glasses back on. I couldn't see your comment there. How are you doing? It's 9 o'clock at night here. It's been cold-ish. I have been working. I've been running saws. Well, at least 2 days a week since we were last talking. So nothing substantial, but messy stuff. That's what I've been on. I'm removing hedges, very slow snipping stuff, hedge all joined together. It's one of these things that you should have just tied a big rope around everything and just went along and cut the whole thing off and just dragged it away with a machine. It would have, it would have taken you 20 minutes, but it ended up taking 2 days. No, Tom, not even privet hedges, bloody Lalandi hedges. Lalandi hedges. Nice, Simon. Nice. I like it. I like the way you're thinking. Yeah, I might get Siobhan a new chainsaw for Christmas this year. Something in the 5 series, maybe. Yeah, that says Woolly on it. Nothing. So it was Lalandis. I tell you what happened with them. They were Lalandis and they had been topped, right? They had been topped maybe 10 years ago, and the tops of them from when they were topped all just grew together in this big mesh, or in this big mess, and they were full of brambles and ivy and 372 will get heavy. It definitely will. That's why I like the 435, because it's a little saw that you can run all day, depending on the wood, obviously. But everything was just knitted together. There was no simple way. You couldn't just cut it down. Some of them were about this wide. You're talking maybe 10 inches max, but some of them were about 4 or 5. But you couldn't, you had to take every branch off and then pull them out one by one. And then I had to drag them up a field. So last Friday, we didn't go live. Last Friday, I started that job. I didn't finish it till 5 o'clock. I only got about 2/3 of it done, and I went away out to a Christmas thing with the family, and I wasn't home till 9:30, and we got takeaway food and stuff like that. And I was just like, it's too late. It's too late. I have heard of hedge laying, yes, and I tell you, it is. What was I saying? The last Friday, I did 28,000 steps, dragging the branches up the field, up a hill, and piling them. Yeah. Good man, Tom. Yeah, I know a guy that does hedge laying, that teaches hedge laying. Now, Simon, I'm going to show your comment, but YouTube have hidden this comment because it's potentially inappropriate. You ready for this? That is mad. It's inappropriate because you have a thumbs up on it. Yeah, so it was, and you know what? I ended up using the top handle saw 90% of the time. Just was doing really well. It just was doing really, really well. Cutting great, running well. And then I used the Frankensaw to take the stems down, and then I had to stack all the wood and drag all the branches. My God, there was some dragging in those 2 days, boy. And it's like, oh, it's just a lot of work. You just forget. You know, you're about 2 hours into the day and you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to go down the street here and see if I can find somebody with a machine, and I'm just going to pile all this brash up, and I'm just going to get somebody to come and lift it and take it all away. But I didn't do that. I humped it. I put my head down, and I grabbed handfuls of that brash, and I just dragged it. 28,000 steps last Friday, 12,651 today. Only about an hour's dragging today. It wasn't too bad. About an hour and a half cutting, but an hour's dragging. But do you know that Simon's right, guys? 5 people on, 3 thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up there. It's not quite Buchan's numbers, but you know, every little helps. And tell me this now. It is Thanksgiving weekend in the States now, isn't it? How does that work out? I was actually thinking to myself this afternoon, or just there before I came on, I was thinking, what, you know, if I go on live, hedge laying, hang on, David, I'll come back to that. If I go live today, is all my USA crew just going to be either drinking or really hungover, and they'll be like going, oh, I just don't want to do this. I've eaten too much turkey. I've drank too much gravy. Hedge laying is really good for the hedge. Okay, so it's a way of using blackthorn and thorn type hedging, that when it starts to grow up, what you're actually doing is you're three-quarter cutting it and putting it over like this. So then it starts growing from here as well. So it's like it would be like getting your thorn hedging and planting them right beside each other like this, which would be a mess. But because you're planting them like this, what you can do is when they grow up a little bit bigger, is you can fold them over on top of each other like that, and it grows up, and you get a much thicker hedge, and it is a much more beneficial hedge for wildlife and for animals and for shelter and all those different things. That is my understanding of hedge laying. I know a guy who does hedge laying, actually teaches hedge laying as well, which is pretty cool. And he uses a top handle chainsaw. So, oh, I didn't need to get that wet. That is what I have been up to this week. It is no, I've done more than that, like, but that's the saw stuff I've been doing. Yes, that's it, Tom, as well. So it makes it thicker, a wider hedge, which means that the livestock aren't going to push through it. Well, they're not even going to try, because they're smart enough to know that the thorns will stick into them, so they don't bother. So that is the main reason, and it's better windbreak and stuff. And oh, you'll have to excuse me, I'm tired today. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's and it's a dying art as well. So it's cool to see it because what they do here is to just go across them with a flail mower, right? So if you have a really nice thorn hedge and you cut it back with a flail mower, from where that is cut, it's going to mushroom out with branches. The same as what happened to that hedge I was cutting today. Now, that hedge I was cutting today was only maybe 10 foot tall-ish, right? But it probably would have been 20 foot tall at some stage, but they cut it all back. They topped it, right? So when you top it, you end up with these hedges that look like sheep. Leggy mushrooms, yeah. Well, to me, they look like sheep because you can see all these stalks, and then it's all bushy along the top. I really don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's sort of pointless, you know? Yeah. As far as I am aware. No, sorry. Yeah, I'm tired. So it's a 6 a.m. start for me on a Friday, you see. So it is. That's why I'd be here and I'd be yawning all the time and I'd be trying to hide them. Yeah, so 7 o'clock this morning, I was in my barrel. It was cold. It was cold, cold, cold. I'll tell you how cold it was. Give me 1 second now. Bear with me till I go over to fake book here. Dun, 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 dun. It was 6.4 degrees this morning. 13 hours ago, well, more than 13 hours ago, I was in that barrel at 6:45 a.m. and I got in it for 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Yeah, it does, Tom. English Woodsman, Dan, how's it going? Dan, I actually caught your live stream the other day. I don't know if you noticed me on it. The one where you were. I thought you'd actually said that you had broke YouTube. But breaking rules. Rules are made to be bent, aren't they? You just bend it a little bit and see if it breaks. But what was it? Was it the raffle? Is that what it was? I don't know. It's not something I've ever looked into. Oh my God, Simon, well done. Pleaching. Yeah, guys, it's the firewood A to Z tonight, and the letter is actually the letter P. And it's controversial. But we'll get, well, my topic is controversial. Well, we will get to that in a little while. Woodcutter, how's it going? Dan, I didn't realize that was a thing. I didn't know that you couldn't run a raffle on YouTube. Well, I do now. Yeah, not bad, Woodcutter, not bad. It's Friday evening here. It's the start of Christmas for us this evening. Well, we went out and did that Christmas thing last week, but tonight the girls go over to my mother's, their grannies, and they watch the toy show. What is it called? The Late Toy Show. Just I do feel good. It's like a shot of espresso. I come into the house and Siobhan says, "You have to stop talking. It's too early. You have to stop talking. All this energy. But I am confused a little bit by it, David, to tell you the truth. I have a lot of information. There's a lot of information out there, and I don't know how much of it is relevant. You're out at the minute, Dan, are you? Man, I must get a stove. But I bought a new coat, and now I can't afford a stove. P for petrol is a good one as well, isn't it? I'm going to write these down. No, I'm definitely not just doing my homework now, teacher. I promise. Let me see now. Yeah, so I was going to buy a stove. I never got on to Promley. Never even thought of it. I did get on to Columbia River Knife and Tool though, and they actually seemed quite keen in getting me to look at some of their stuff. Hi Avery. I was thinking I'd like to try one of their tomahawks just for S's and G's, and but they were like, yeah, Dear, I'd send them a message on Facebook, and they were like, yeah, Dear, send us an email, we'll have a look, and we'll see how we can work together. And there's something I have been working on in the background, guys, that has it's been a little bit of a funny process, right? MDF. It's been a little bit of a funny process. You've lost me, Tom. And because I have this company called Mascot, right? Well, I don't have a company. I do have a company, but this is not my company. They're a Danish work brand. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them, but they contacted me a little while ago and asked me, would I like to wear some of their equipment. I suppose I can go live with this now. But anyway, they're sending me a winter jacket, and it's going to be embroidered with the Woolys World logo on it, on one up here somewhere. So, which is pretty cool. So they've sent me a couple of pairs of trousers, but we haven't been able to get the sizing right. And you might have noticed me wearing one of their. I have a hat that has a bear on it. So I've been wearing that as well. So hopefully get some new gear to wear. I don't know what way it's going to work. Very early days, but I could have like a winter jacket, a lined waterproof winter jacket with the Woolys World logo on it. That would be cool, wouldn't it? But yeah, so I need to get that organized. Well, that's pretty much the crack. What else have I been up to? Good man, Benjamin. You come in there, nice P for positivity. Petrol prices. You see, that's what I wrote down. I wrote down petrol and I wrote prices beside it as well, because it is expensive. Do you know what? I have never been so glad that I have a bloody that I have a nice big stockpile of firewood for winter. Jesus, like it's November. And we're still not turning on the heat. Now it is cold in the house, yes, but it's sort of like the house next door is a building site as well, which doesn't help because they're getting a remodel and an extension, so there's no one in that, and the whole place is empty. So it's like the cold from there is seeping into here, but it is okay. But and then it's going to be back up to 13 degrees at the weekend. So it's like, I don't know. I don't get it. The weather is all over the place, but absolutely all over the place. Dan, you should be recording you watching me live. That would be like the most amazing YouTube video that you've ever made. I don't know if your subscribers would be interested. Building site pallets. Yeah, there's not a lot. I've been into them already. They're right next door. The Est-wing video, the tactical tomahawk, that's where the two doors came from. And I actually took the windows out of those. And when they were remodeling, they give me the two windows that they took out. And they're the ones that's going into the cabin. So, yeah, I'm doing all right out of them. Joiners haven't started yet, but I've already spoken to the joiners for offcuts and stuff like that. So I'm hoping I might get a free firewood type video out of that. So, Tom, the problem here is the pallets are lifted, not by people, but, when the building suppliers are coming out bringing stuff, they take all the pallets away. So it's just a bit of a pain in the arse. Well, Benjamin, I would agree with that. Yes. I did look. I have Dewalt tools, right? You've seen me use them. I have Dewalt tools. That's my impact driver. And I have a circular saw, and I have a jigsaw, and that, and a combi drill, the impact driver and a combi drill. And I'm actually thinking about getting a recip saw as well. And when I was looking into getting new battery equipment, I was actually thinking about getting Makita, because Makita have a battery top handle saw, and that was where I was going. I was going, right, well, if I have the impact driver and the combi drill, and I'll have two decent batteries, then I can get the top handle saw, and I already have the batteries and stuff like that. Yes, makes perfect sense. So your statement makes perfect sense. I am not going to I'm not going to go down the road of a new system just to have a chainsaw. Now, DeWalt do have a chainsaw, but it's not top handle. So I think if I was going down the route of a battery chainsaw, it would need to be a top handle saw. I don't know. I just don't see them having the power to be able to do the stuff that a regular chainsaw would do. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's time to reach out to one of these companies and see if they'll send me something to test. I doubt it with my 7,000 subscribers, but you never know. You never know. Have any of you used the DeWalt or the Makita? I know Oregon have one. See, what I was thinking was of getting the recip saw was that I for dismantling pallets, because what I want, pallets are hard to come by. This is the problem. But what I was thinking of doing was getting a big, long, flexible hacksaw blade and just getting in between the pallet boards and cutting the nails instead of ripping it off. Just cutting the nails, cut through the nails, cut through the nails, cut through the nails. Because imagine how cool that would be if I was, because I'd like to do the walls of the cabin on the inside with pallet boards if I can get them. This is the thing, if I can get them. 15 minutes per battery. That is ridiculous. Really? Really? That is unbelievably bad. 15 minutes per battery. Sure, what the hell would you be doing with that? That's bad, boy. That is bad. That is bad. That I didn't realize it was that bad. You know, 650? 650 with 2 batteries. How much is it per unit? Doesn't matter. 15 minutes is pants, absolute pants. That is really bad. I'm surprised at how bad that is. I'm underwater again tonight. 15 minutes of cutting time. Maybe. I wonder. Well, Pappy, how's it going? Hey, Bruno. I wonder how long. Like, if you think about it, right? 2-inch branch. You know, what's that? 1 or 2 seconds. I wonder how long a top handle saw would run cutting on 1 tank of fuel. Hi. Do you know what I mean? I wonder, is there. It doesn't matter. You can have a fuel can with you. You're not going to carry 100 batteries. You know, that just really doesn't make sense. It's just a bit. Yeah. Yeah. My top handle is a thin kerf chain as well. I was cutting those 9-inch pieces with the top handle today, and there was no problem. And what are they going to move to next, Benjamin? I don't follow it, so I don't really know where they would move to. Is there something else down in the pipeline? Is there better batteries? What batteries are they using in mobile phones? You know? Yeah, I wouldn't either. I'm not that interested in cordless. Do you know what I mean? See, Tom, 20 minutes doesn't even seem that long to me. I be down in Red Branch and I am running. I've ran my Dewalt stuff all day. You know, I know you're not running it consistently, but I have come back up and just not charged them and still been able to use them like loads of time. Loads. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that, Thomas, that the Husqvarna one's decent enough, but is it the equivalent to a 200T? Is it the equivalent to the what do you call the Husqvarna top handle? Mine is the T525, the T435. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Bit of a false economy, isn't it? That they're going to save the environment, yet the making of the batteries is the batteries are basically made by slaves. You know, they're all mined out of these places in Africa. That's all run by warlords, and it's just crazy. They will not. They will not. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. the whole battery powered thing, electric car thing is a little bit of a, I'm not sold on it. Yes, the idea is good, but I'm not sold on it. I'm not, the technology is not there. To make it feasible, you know, I see what they've done now is that all electricity, people who are charging their cars, it's now the same price as driving a diesel. It's the same crack. So I see, I don't know if that was in Ireland or in the UK that I was reading that today. So, you know, there's no big savings. Are you getting, yeah, made with the blood, sweat, and tears of Twitter workers. It's crazy. I don't know. There's a load of this crap. You know, it all depends on who has the better propaganda machine. That's what I think. Well, Ed, how's it going? That's what I think. It's whoever can sell the lie better. That's all. It's a, you know, it's a bit like the World Cup, the stuff that's going on in the World Cup. Now, I'm not a soccer fan, guys. Don't be pegging me there. I would have been when I was younger, Liverpool supporter, but I'm not into it. I don't really care about it. But it's like, you know, I don't know. Politics, money, bribery, corruption. It's everything. That World Cup has everything. You know, slave labor, debts, you know, hypocrisy, Western governments speaking out about cultures that they don't understand, and or they don't really care about it as well, unless it's beneficial to them, and it just should never have been there. Why, in anybody's mind, do you think that having a World Cup in Qatar is a good idea? Because they're known for the football. All right. The only thing I ever knew about Qatar is that if you played them in FIFA 91, I think you could stand in front of the goalkeeper and take the ball off him and score a goal every time. Every time. They were the worst team in it. Okay. Yes. Yeah, it's massive, Simon. Massive. I know. It's absolutely insane. It's insane. It's insane. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. P for politics. Yay, Wooly. Go. Wooly's on a rant. Guys, I want to start the firewood A to Z letter P with something that is controversial, and it is not politics, guys. It is not politics at all. Peppy or pull-on flavored ice cream. I want to talk about the dreaded PPE, or personal protection equipment, or is it protective? I don't really know. Guys, PPE. Oh, that reminds me, Dan, if you're still on, we never sorted out those chainsaw trousers, but send me a message about that tomorrow and we'll sort that out. PPE. Yes, guys. Love it or hate it. PPE. There is nothing that will bring people out of the woodwork like a good PPE discussion. Hang on, Thomas. Yeah, I know Cotton Top. Well, I don't know Cotton Top, but I know the channel. What does he use all the time? Oh, the 5-3i. Yes. Good man. Sorry. The previous comment was way up. Yeah. There's a couple of guys used them. So, well, this is the thing. I want to know, guys. Do you wear trousers? Do you wear chap? Now, we're talking about when you're using the chainsaw here. I don't need no blue oyster bloody stories here or anything like that. This is not Police Academy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Many of them films was there. Okay, guys, do you wear trousers? Do you wear chaps? Or do you not wear any? Okay. Now, look, we're not here to point fingers or anything like that. I just want to know what people do and maybe explain to us why. Okay. I wear trousers. I wear chainsaw trousers. And when I was doing stuff with Oregon, Jesus Christ, $1,000. Where are you going with $1,000 for a top handle chainsaw? Yeah, okay, yep. So look, but this is the thing, Ed, right? This is the thing, right? I wear chainsaw trousers. I think they're class 1 chainsaw trousers, right? So that means that they will stop a chainsaw that is rotating at 40 per second or something like that. I'm not sure of the statistics, right? So that means that every chainsaw I own is too powerful for my trousers. Every one of them. Even the 435, except the top handle saw. No, I tell a lie, except for the top handle saw. That means that every chainsaw I own will technically not get stopped by those chainsaw trousers. Same with my boots. Okay. My helmet is made of plastic, right? You know, is it a bit of a false god? No, I'm not going to take a chainsaw and I'm going to dig it into my leg just to test it. Do you know what I mean? But technically, none of my chainsaw clothing is up to the standard that I need to run any of my saws, except for the top handle saw. What do you think of that? But I'm with Ed. I will not turn on a chainsaw with it. I will not use a chainsaw without it. I'll turn one on, but I will not cut anything without my PPE on. Trousers, boots, helmet. Gloves, depends on the weather. Do you wear ear protection, Tom? Chainsaws are loud, boy. Very, very loud. I am always getting things in my eyes. I don't know if they bounce up and hit the inside of the glasses or what the crack is. Do you know in France they have to wear arm protection as well? What about helmets, guys, and steel toe cap boots? What do you make of those? Simon, so do I. In the leg of my in the leg of my chainsaw trousers, I have a battle dressing. It's not an Israeli. I think it is an Israeli bandage, actually. Yeah, that my mate gave me, who's a soldier, and that is always in the leg of my trousers. And I actually, when I got the new trousers, I took it out the old trousers and put it straight into the side pocket of the other ones, and there it stays. Now I always carry a first aid kit with me in the truck, and I'm never too far away from the truck. Yeah, this is it. There's also a lot to be said for people, that people are idiots as well, so a lot of people will, I'm not saying you're an idiot if you don't wear it, or if you're an idiot if you do wear it. I'm talking about people do not understand how powerful a chainsaw is. They don't. Do you know what I mean? They don't. If you think back, people, this is what I find, right? People say to me, will you come cut down a tree? And I'll say, I'll come down and have a look, right? And you go down and have a look, and the tree will be 250 foot tall. It'll be 6 foot thick at the bottom, and they'll be going, will you just cut that down there and cut it up? And you go, no, that tree right there is extremely dangerous, and it needs somebody who really knows what they're doing. And they're like, oh yeah, sure, look, I'll go get a chainsaw and Aldi and I'll cut it down myself then. And you're like going, this is my experience. People have no clue how dangerous it is to use a chainsaw or how dangerous trees are. This is what I find. So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy the amount of times people have said that to me. Like I had a guy one time, and I think I've said this before, said to me, come look at this job. I want you to cut down these trees, right? And there was about 20 trees around a small field. One side of the field was on the top of the hill of a really busy road. And these trees were massive, hundreds of years old. He says, oh, I said, this is, I just looked at it and I went, right, I need to go get somebody else. And I went and I got my friend who I used to do a lot of work with. And he came out and looked at this and he went, this is 15 grand, easy. You're talking, you know, traffic control, closing a road. You're talking, you know, high abs, and you're just a mental job, just like something completely out of, like a big firm comes in and does this job, you know, not me. He says, oh, I was just going to get the tractor and put the bucket behind it and you cut it and I'll push it over. I was like, no, not having anything to do with that. And I walked away. Well, that's it, Tom. That's it. I'm the same. Benjamin. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the things. And this is it. It's like if somebody tells me to come look at a job and I walk down and I think to myself, no, I will just go, here's the phone number of a friend of mine. He's a tree surgeon. He has his own business, you know, chippers and all that stuff. That's too big of a job for me. I am not a tree surgeon. I'm not a faller. I am a gardener with a chainsaw. Pantographic knives, R&A. I don't even know what that is, to tell you the truth. He didn't have a tree on the hill. He had maybe 25 trees, and so if you imagine the tree was a rectangle, this side of the rectangle had the road. Okay, this side of it, the short side of it, had a house. It was just like this is a job that you would spend days picking little branches off to try and get stuff to go where you wanted to go. It was just, they're still starting. He obviously never got anybody to do it because it was just too expensive. Crazy. But PPE, guys, for me, it's essential. It's essential. P for pensioner. Well, this is the thing: chaps versus trousers. Chaps versus trousers. I know people like chaps because they're cooler than trousers, but I just always think that what if the saw kicks back and gets you in the groin? That's what I'd be thinking. But then, is there any protection there anyway? I would buy one of the new, like a 590 or something, I think. Well, Stuart, how's it going? Helmet. This is the thing, right? Helmet. I even if I'm not using the saw and I'm doing a job, I still wear my helmet, right? And not just if there's climbers or anything like that about, because Mama Taz, how's it going? Omega Third, what's the crack? So what I do, because what I find is that generally if I am cutting something, if it's up close and personal, I'm in places and stuff, I always get stuff poking me, and you know, the helmet just stops that from happening. I was on a job one time with a really good friend of mine, and I was down doing something down below, and he cut a little branch off about this size and he fired it at me and tried to hit me on the helmet and actually hit me right on the back of the neck, just right in the back of the neck. Floored me, just put me out. Nice, Ed. Chippy. Now, let me see what is going on here. No moderators on tonight, boys. Well, there is now. So, I don't know what you're talking about, Thomas, but I have a feeling that we might have to get moderators involved here at any stage. So, this is the crack, right? If I'm going out to do something, using the saw, I wear it. Okay. Generally, I am somewhere where even though I do have a fair bit of first aid knowledge and stuff like that, I don't know where Roddy is actually, Benjamin. That is a good. He liked something that I posted on Facebook today, but I haven't heard from him in a while. I might send him a wee message later and make sure he's all right. I meant to message him today and forgot. So Ed, I just made you. Why did that not work? Give me a second. Guys, I'm gonna just add some moderators there, okay? Thank you for saying yes, guys. It's normally Pat and thing. Why is that not? Why is it not coming up as blue? That's what I want to know. Anyway, so you know, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. I wouldn't be without it. I really wouldn't. Do you know? I had somebody come on to me one time and say to me, and I was talking about PPE on a video, and they said to me, "Oh, you should have actually pointed out that Carhartt is not chainsaw PPE." As in, I was wearing a Carhartt jacket when I made the video, and I was thinking to myself, do I need to point out to people that Carhartt has not got chainsaw protection in it? Do people think Carhartt has chainsaw protection in it? Thanks, Thomas. Thank you. Because Carhartt does not have chainsaw protection in it. If you test it, you will lose an arm or a leg or whatever else that you decide to test it out on. But good man, Ed. So we'd see how to get on. Ed, see how to get on. If they're playing nice, just leave them. It could be guys from a bushcraft club, or it could be local lads here who used to come on the odd time. They were friends of Lily's, but God knows. But as long as they're not being rude, I don't really mind. But if they start filling the feed full of spam, cut them. But yes, so that's the way I look at it. If you have it, you should wear it. That's what I think. I've never tried the chaps. This is the thing. I think they would be handy, but they would be handy if you're out working instead of, because I'm down there in Red Branch and I'm doing stuff, and I'm building stuff and stuff like that. But you're not running the chainsaw all the time. It's not like you're down cutting, you're down working, but you're using the chainsaw as part of work. And that's the thing. So even though, yeah, pull over, retired, have a cup of coffee, maybe a 15-minute nap. Even though we're talking about this PPE. See, I knew somebody when I said no Blue Oyster stuff. Even though we're talking about PPE and we're talking about being falling, right? or firewooding or whatever you want to call it, dropping trees or cutting up firewood or anything like that, there's a hell of a lot of people out there who use chainsaws for work. And I'm not talking about tree surgeons, like builders and stuff like that, and running chainsaws on building sites and stuff like that. You know, roofers use chainsaws, and you don't ever see those guys wearing chaps. Do you know what I mean? Or chainsaw trousers or anything like that. Oh, which is a little bit. That's something I hadn't considered until right there now. Depends on the weather, Benjamin. I like my Husqvarna trousers, to tell you the truth, guys. They have zips on the back of the knees. And well, yeah, that's right, Ed. They have zips on the back of the knees. And what happens is that it's really handy. They're not really warm. I did have a pair of Oregon ones that had protection the whole way around, and they were mental. You could hardly walk on them, and they were so warm, so warm. Or maybe they were the Husqvarna ones. Yeah, they're the ones I have. They're really good. They're really good. And the great thing about them is that they come in leg sizes. You bloody hate. Like, I had still ones before that I bought, and they were about 40 quid. The Husqvarna ones could have been 80 quid. But they're all too long in the leg. I'm really short arse. My legs are only like 28-inch inside leg. So I need something that fits me in the leg. Otherwise, you're tripping over it. And, you know, especially for me being away up these places, you know what, like when I did those mountain wood videos, you know, you're wheeling a wheelbarrow back and forward through mud and shucks and gutters. You start getting the bottom of your trousers wet, especially chainsaw trousers. They don't be long pulling down on you, you know, and that is a pain, boy. Yeah, there is that, Ed. Yeah. $200. Jesus. See, it depends on what you buy. It really does. Well, generally what I do is if I am on the saw all day, come 4 o'clock after lunch, I sort of start thinking about stopping. So generally, like last Friday, I was on the saw a lot. But what I did was after lunch, I just cut for a long time and stacked loads of stuff up that needed to be moved, right? So what that meant was that come 3:30, saw's gone, put the saw away, you know, you're starting to get tired, you make stupid mistakes, you know. So before that kicks in, you put the saw away and you start dragging brash. It's not really a big deal if you make a mistake dragging brash. You know what I mean? Because I'm on my own. At the end of the day, I'm on my own. And when I was doing tree work with a mate of mine, at 4 o'clock he was down out of the tree. Doesn't matter what was left to be done. He got down out of the tree, we put everything away, and we did something else. We tidied up the job to get ready for the next day. So who will win the World Cup? Qatar's going to win the World Cup because it's all a fix. And so what that meant then is that you're not sort of forcing them into a position where they're up a tree. Oh, well, then I don't know. You know, like, so you think it's bad on the ground using the saw, like up in a tree, tying knots, everything's very meticulous, it's very slow. You're doing that all day, boy. You know, that it has to be super tiring. Super tiring. Now, I've been up a tree a lot, but I've never used Mama Taz, how's it going? I've never used a chainsaw up a tree. I've used a handsaw, pruning saw, and it was very time consuming and very mentally straining because I had to think about there's a lot of wires going through the tree, so I had to think about everything I was doing. But I suppose then you just get used to it, don't you? Isn't that the crack? Good man, Ed. The white veins out. Check it out. Check it out. So look, here is the thing. You want to start a row on Facebook, put up a video of somebody not using PPE. That is what happens. PPE police. The PPE police come out. And this is the thing, right? If you don't wear PPE, it's not really, it doesn't really bother me at all. You know, I don't know your history. So you just, if it works for you, it works for you. Now, if I was doing a job and somebody turned up and wanted to run the saw and didn't have any PPE, not a chance. I use chainsaw boots. I use Mendel chainsaw Woodwalker Pro chainsaw boots. They are like hiking boots, except they're chainsaw boots, and they're very comfortable. Steel toe cap, chainsaw protection in the tongue, very nice. Memory foam, very comfortable, very good. Bought them secondhand. They were brand new. Somebody had bought them for a job and worn them once. Paid £100 for them. They are about $260 new. Echo chainsaws, Benjamin, I have absolutely no opinion on them. I have never even seen one as far in the flesh, as far as I know, as far as I can remember. So some of the boys on here run Echoes all the time, but I know Doug is into his Echoes and stuff like that. But he's Doug's probably out partying because it's what you call it, Thanksgiving, isn't it? Excuse me, that's me yawning again, but yawning again. That means it's nearly time for me to finish. You don't. What did I say? I said no blue oyster stuff, hey. No blue oyster stuff. It's funny, boy. Funny because it's true, Doug. Funny because it's true. Jesus Christ. I don't get it. I don't get it. There's a certain amount of Darwinism involved in these things. Do you know what I mean? So play stupid games, win stupid prizes, guys. What's the CS4310? I still haven't fixed the 435 yet, actually. I still haven't even looked at it. I know I got that video out the last time, but it's just, yeah, and I meant to explain it. I just don't have... No, I understand, Doug. Jesus, man, don't be panicking. Don't be panicking. You will notice there is a fair few new moderators in the house. So we had a little bit of things going on. It was okay. Not like what we had before. So it's like I've just completely lost what I was going to say there. What are we talking about? Oh yeah. So it's dark here at 4 o'clock, so 4-ish. So I sort of, it's hard to get the time, get out to the shed and do stuff. Really? No problem, Chippy. Thank you. Yes, guys, happy Thanksgiving. I did say that, but no, happy Thanksgiving. Echo for life, man. Yeah, Echo Brothers. You should be doing this, look. Yes, Peppy is right. Or is that Peppy? That sounds like something Ice Cream Holio would say. Guys, look. I need to get the 435 fixed. I want to get a wee video on it and see if I can get it running. I do have a new carb and stuff like that. It's just like I'm always running to do stuff, and then the kids are home at a certain time from school and stuff, and then my evening's over, and that's 2:45. And so it's maybe it is conky. It's hard to get the time to do all these things. Mama Taz, take it easy. Thank you for stopping by, guys. So I must just get it sorted. Just at least have a look at it and see if I can figure it out. And I am looking at videos of 5 series chainsaws at the minute. This is the problem. What's that, Benjamin? 757. No, I'm gonna have to Google that. Jesus Christ. That's a mental looking chainsaw. Might be a bit big for my needs, I think. It's always the carb. That's where I'm starting. I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting first, and then if that's still not working, everybody seems to say brake fluid. It does stuff. So I might see if I can get a can of brake fluid, or is it brake cleaner? It's not running, Chippy. It just is. If you go back maybe 2 videos, I did a wee video for Tin Man there. It's not starting now at the minute. Doug, it's still the same symptoms as before, but I went to start it there the last day to show Tin Man how it was dying, and I couldn't even get it to start. So it's just not. Yes, Ed, thank you very much for that vote of confidence there. So brake cleaner, that's what it is, brake cleaner. Possibly, Doug. I'm going to start with the carb. I think maybe check the fuel line and the fuel filter. Except I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, so it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. It's going to be one of these videos. If I do make a video of it, it's going to be one of these videos where loads of people are going to come back with negative comments about me not having a clue what I'm doing. But I don't really mind because it's a journey. And the block seals. And how do you fix that, Simon? Basically, it's like this. You would start it and run it, and then it would gurgle. It would go and die off. It's like, and if you tipped it like this, it would go quicker. So if you tipped it bar down, it would go and die. And then it wouldn't start. There's a couple of videos. I'm not sure what, Chippy. Yeah. I see, do it live. It's nighttime, so I've no lights in the shed. New what seals? What seals? What seals? Sea lions? I have a video to crank seals. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I have a video. There's a video called 365 to the rescue or something like that. Let me see if I can find it, guys. Bear with me a second. I won't go off just yet. Oh my God, I'm live at the minute. Sorry, guys. It'll take me a minute. Butler Creek, how's it going, buddy? What's the crack? That's the video there. I will have a look at crank seals as well, guys. It does feel like it's sucking, or it's trying to get something that it can't get. So look, have a look and see what you think. Lovely stuff, guys. I'm going to leave that there. Everybody, happy Thanksgiving. All you guys in the States, I appreciate that you took the time to check in with Wooly tonight. And we will leave it there. Guys, if you want, have a look at that video. Have a look at Tin Man's video, the video I did for Tin Man as well. And let me know. Put your comments down there, because it's hard for me to go back and check the comments on this. So get your comments there, but I have plenty to look at. I have a whole big list of stuff here from the last one we did. Early, possibly spray brake cleaner around the crank seal. If it dies, I have a leak. Check for blocked exhaust. Check spark arrestor. Crank seals. All these different things, guys. And that is what I need to do. And it's Christmas in 1 month. Everybody go home and crap yourselves. That's mental. 1 month. Guys, thanks for watching. Stay frosty.